What's up guys, my name is Emily.
My name's Amanda and welcome to our channel,
Gale Twins. Today's recipe is tuna salad.
Fresh Blackfin tuna salad.
Alright, I'll show you guys the tuna.
None of this store-bought canned tuna.
No.
This tuna was caught, it was filleted. We have about a pound of tuna right here. We traded this tuna.
So this tuna has a bit of a story to it. We didn't actually catch that tuna. We caught a 200-pound swordfish, which you guys can definitely go watch that video. And that same day, other people caught a blackfin tuna, and we traded some swordfish steaks for some blackfin tuna.
So if you guys are interested in how to catch and clean tuna, you can click the suggestions up here, or we'll put it in the description box. As far as this tuna, sad to say I did not catch it, but I caught a swordfish and traded. Just bartering fish over here. Anyways, let's get to our recipe. Let's show you what we got. I'm really excited to make some fresh blackfin tuna salad. We have our pound of tuna right here. We are going to be, well, first I'm going to clean that up and chunk it up into smaller pieces, and we're gonna boil it to start with cooking it. And then once it's boiled and cooled, we are going to use red onion, lemon, celery, mayo, and cranberries. Of course, salt and pepper as well is important. Every recipe we do, and we're just gonna get started. First step that I'm gonna do, which you always wanna remember to do, start boiling your water. I'm not gonna sit there and cut all those onions and cranberries and then come back and be like, oh, my water wasn't boiling. So I'm gonna get the water boiling, start chopping and prepping, and then we will move in a nice, smooth forward motion to create tuna salad. When making tuna salad, there's more than one way you can cook your tuna. We are gonna boil ours, and we want it to boil for, basically you want it cooked. Probably 6 to 8 minutes, but it really depends on the size of the chunks of tuna you're putting in the water. I'm going to chunk sizes, come look at probably like this big, chunk a piece of tuna that big, and we want to make them all around the same size, so they're going to cook nice and evenly. That looks good. And this way we'll have nice, evenly cooked chunks of tuna being boiled, ready to go for our tuna salad.
Look how good that fish looks, you guys.
This is very, very fresh. It was caught yesterday, so you really, really can't go wrong when you're making
fresh tuna.
Whoa!
That water's boiling.
Water's boiling.
Get a wooden spoon.
Yeah, I don't know if you knew that, guys. If your water is gonna boil over, and you put a wooden spoon in there, it actually soaks up the water and stops it from boiling over. Just in case. Oh yeah. There you go.
Perfect.
Calm down. Also,
see?
Look at this.
Calm me down. That has a story behind it.
I made it.
Yep, Amanda made it.
In home ec in high school. We both have a sewing machine, and we sew sometimes. Little fun projects. All right, so I'm gonna start with boiling this tuna. What's kind of interesting is I'm just gonna like drop it in nice and easy, just like that. Immediately it turns white. Perfect. Tuna's turning white. That means it's cooking. Cook, cook, cook. Boil, boil, boil.
Let's set a timer.
Let's get our timer going. And one of the reasons that we really like tuna salad is because if you're not a raw tuna eater, which we aren't,
we're not raw fish eaters.
I've never been able to get into it. I've tried it. I've had the freshest, best sashimi you could have, but for some reason it's a texture thing. It's not a flavor thing. Can't get into it. So if you're ever out there and you caught something like tuna, you're like, well, how do I cook this? Tuna salad. I mean, we've fallen in love with it. Another cool thing to do is you can use wahoo, and we've done that. You can make wahoo salad as well. You do it the same way, and it's just as delicious. It's so good. Our tuna cooked for just over 8 minutes. You want it to be nice, white, flaky tuna. Like I said, you want this cooked all the way through. So you know, it all really does depend though on how big your tuna chunks are. If you're not sure, pull it out, cut it in half, check the inside, see what it looks like.
All right, let's check this tuna.
Let's check this tuna out.
It's nice and white.
Should I cut it open?
Yeah, cut it open.
Cut this one open.
Yeah,
that's perfect.
Perfect.
Perfect. Perfect, perfect. So I'll take the rest of these tuna chunks out. Yep, those look really good. And basically what we're gonna do is we're really gonna wanna wait for this to cool because it's very hot. And while we're waiting for it to cool, I'm gonna start chopping up and preparing the other ingredients for this dish.
Is that all of it? One more?
Oh, there's one more.
One more.
One more tuna chunk.
Okay.
All right, we're just gonna let this sit here to cool and get started with dicing our onions. And also with this is, with tuna salad, you can make it as chunky or as fine as you want. So it's really up to you how big you want your celery pieces to be if you want to chop your cranberries in half. This is all a personal opinion thing.
We are gonna dice our red onion first, and just so you guys know, all of the specific measurements of this recipe will be in the description box, but kind of like Amanda said earlier, this is like I want more onion, I want more celery, you know, have fun with it, do what you want, but we'll put what we do, and then you guys can go from there. Maybe you like extra onion, or maybe you like extra pepper.
Yeah, and I'll also add, actually, the cranberry is definitely very optional. We've made several batches without cranberry in it before we added the cranberry, and I've kind of found that I really like the cranberry in it if I'm gonna eat it as like tuna salad with some chips, with crackers. Yeah. And then if I want like a tuna salad sandwich, I like to leave the cranberry out. So that's just like it. Like I said, this is like fun. Pretend this is like an experiment.
Yes.
The tuna is mostly cooled off, so we are just going to start with putting our tuna in the bowl and pulling it apart to shred it up into nice little pieces.
Yep, just using a fork.
Just using a fork. And also remember, when you're doing this, once we add the rest of our ingredients and start stirring, it's gonna chunk up even smaller. It's gonna
shred smaller.
Even smaller. So just keep that in mind. This doesn't have to be, and like I said, you can choose how thick you want your tuna, how thin you want it.
While you're shredding that tuna, let's do our twin truth.
Alrighty, today's twin truth. What is it?
Okay. Today's twin truth is a little bit of some information about twin fact about identical twins versus fraternal twins. A lot of you might already know this, but there are some people out there that don't, because I have learned that from people asking me twin questions. So identical twins is when there is one egg. So we are one egg and we split in half and we became two babies. And then there's fraternal twins where it's two eggs. So fraternal twins on a genetic level is basically the same as brother and sister. The only thing is that they were in the womb at the same time and they were born on the same day.
Exactly.
So on a genetic level, identical twins, like us, we were one egg that split, so we have the same genome.
So we came from the same egg.
We did.
How cute.
How cute.
Have you guys ever cracked open a real egg and there's two yolks in it?
Yeah.
That's basically what happened.
Yeah, that's a good look.
That's what happened.
Yeah. So that's identical twins versus fraternal twins.
There's your twin truth for today.
Is it looking good?
It is looking really good. It's starting to look like real tuna salad. So I'm taking my fork in here. Also, guys, if you have a food processor, I would use that.
This would be much quicker.
This would be much quicker. We sat here dicing all of our onions and our celery and our cranberries, but if you have a food processor,
go for it.
Go for it. Totally go for it. But we don't have one. Should put it on like the Christmas list or something. Christmas is a long
Christmas is really far away.
Whatever. All right, I'm gonna throw some onion in. That's how thin we chopped up our onion. celery, cranberry. This is gonna put my mayo. I'm gonna squeeze my lemon. Just half a lemon. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Last but not least, some crackles of salt, some crackles of pepper. Also, if you have white pepper, I would actually use salt and white pepper. We just don't have any. White pepper is really good on fish. It's a little bit spicier, so you don't need as much of it. But if you have white pepper, I would do salt and white pepper. Time to mix it. I think that looks delicious. It looks done. It is 100% done. It looks so good. So good, guys. The amount of mayonnaise you put is really up to you. Like Emily said, we are gonna put the ingredients we did and the amount we did, but this is all just taste it. Do you want more? Do you want less? Do you want it salty? Do you want it less salty? Well, less salty is hard to go backwards. Whatever. Anyways, this tuna salad, I love it with pita chips. It's my favorite way to eat it. Another way to eat it is on a tuna salad sandwich. You can make a tuna melt? Yeah. Oh, yeah. That sounds really good. The options are really endless. So this is really just kind of a starting point. And from here, it can be a dip at a party. It can be a sandwich for lunch. It can be a tuna melt. It can be anything. Guys, get creative. Hold it up. Let's see it. Look at how good that looks. Look at it, guys. And this is why I like using red onion, because honestly, the colors just pop between red onions and cranberries. It looks pretty. The first thing you do when you eat is you eat with your eyes before you eat with your mouth. Exactly. Your eyes see it first and go, wow, that looks tasty. That looks delicious. Thanks for watching, guys. If you use our recipe and you like it, please leave it in the comments. Let us know. Give us your thoughts. If you make a tuna melt with it, tell us how you did it. If you changed it and made it your own, please let us know. Make sure you follow Gale Force Twins on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.